Hey, thanks for clicking on this video. My name's Alan, and if you clicked on this video, it probably means you're looking for some self-working tricks. Now, whenever I usually think of self-working tricks, whether finding them out of a book or finding them here on YouTube, it usually happens to be that they're procedural, where you have to be dealing things into several piles, or they rely on some kind of mathematics. They're very long-winded, and I don't know if they're really that impressive or interesting to the audience watching them. So in today's video, I have two tricks for you, two card tricks where there's no procedural anything, there's no mathematics, everything's very, very, very easy to do, and it's amazing. I guarantee it. Stay tuned. Now there is a lot of information in this video, so I've used the timestamp code so you can jump around the video and go to the section that you are exactly looking for, and I encourage you to do that. 8-card Brainwave. Now this is not mine. This is something from a guy named Nick Trost. He passed away in 2008, but he published this about 50 years ago. It is an incredible effect, and it uses one slight maybe, if you could even call it that. Really, you're just turning your hands like this. So it's not very hard to learn at all. You can watch this and then perform it almost immediately after watching this video. To perform this, you're going to need something, though. You're going to need a red deck of cards and a blue deck of cards. I'll explain why in a second. I want to try something a little bit different with you. You know the pick a card trick, right? Well, I want to try that, but a little bit differently. I want to see if you can pick the right card. What do I mean by that? Well, I don't have an entire deck with me here. I only have 8 to help you since this is your first time trying this. I thought we'd just use a few. Notice I don't have an ace in there, because if I had an ace, you'd immediately want to go for that one, and I don't want to influence you in any way. Name any card. If you were here, you could name any card that you wanted. Let's say you name the 9 of clubs. Fine, the 9 of clubs. These are all blue-backed, which is not especially exciting until you realize that the 9 of clubs is the only red-backed card. And now you're thinking to yourself, yeah, what if I picked any other card? Well, stay tuned and you'll find out. So the cool thing about this effect is that it'll work with any card that they name. You won't always get blue-backed cards, though. Let me explain. So this is a pack of 8 cards, but they're not all from the same deck. In fact, they're from 2 different decks. They're from red decks, or from a red deck and a blue deck. So you see how they're alternating? I have red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, all the way through the whole thing. 8 cards. That's why it's called 8-card Brainwave. The original Brainwave was done with an entire deck of cards, and the only card they chose would be the off color. But this is a non-gimmicked way to do this effect. You can put this together right now. So they're alternating. Why? Well, let's say somebody picks a card, anyone that they want, anyone that they name. Notice you don't show the backs of them, but they name any card they want. Let's say in this case it's the Jack of Clubs. Okay, well, look what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that Jack of Clubs and I'm going to cut it to the top. So I'm going to take all the cards above the Jack of Clubs, or whatever card they name, and I'm going to move them to the bottom. That's it. That's the move. That's all you really need to worry about. Now, what happens is when you cut a deck of cards, you don't change the order, so they're still in red-blue alternating order. You take the Jack off the face of and you put it right down on the table. Don't show the back, don't say anything about it, just go, you chose the Jack. Well, I want to show you something interesting about the rest of these cards. Then you're going to do what's called the OLRAM Subtlety. Don't let this intimidate you. It's really not hard at all. It's a non-move. So all you're going to do is you're going to push off the face card and then turn both over. Turn the entire packet over and the face card over. And then when you drop them, you're going to drop the single card in your hand first, and then drop the other card on top of it. And then you're just going to do that through the entire deck. That's the OLRAM Subtlety. What I'm doing here is, you'll notice, is I'm showing just the back card, the back of the 3, every single time, the bottom card of that packet every single time, but it gives the impression that I'm showing every single card. That is what makes this work. So whenever you get to that end, that's not especially exciting, but when you go, it doesn't sound very interesting until you realize that it's the only red card of the deck. Right? Now you can play this a couple of different ways. You can play this as you knew that they were going to choose that card the whole time, which has kind of a psychic, clairvoyant feel to it. Or what I like to do is I really like to put it in the audience, make the audience feel special and go, I don't know how you did that. That was great, right? You had a 1 in 8 chance of getting that. So you can also, of course, do this with any card, right? So it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be the Jack of Clubs. It can be any card they name. And if they name something that wasn't a red card, let's say they named a blue card, like the, let's turn this towards you. So they named the 4 of Hearts. You do the exact same thing. You leave the 4 of Hearts down without showing the back. But then you would do the OLRAM Subtlety by flashing the back of the packet and that single card and alternating them in this way, so that way you don't have to reset anything. It automatically resets. You go, that's not especially amazing if they're all red. What is amazing though is that yours is blue. Same thing. And now, because you did it the drop in that order, it's completely reset, and you can do this table hopping. You can jump from table to table or person to person and do this exact same effect and not have to reset anything. The power of this effect comes from the apparent choice and the contrast of the two cards, right? So you have the card that they selected, and then you have all, apparently the rest of the cards are the opposite color. So if you're going to carry this around in a card box, don't draw attention to the color of the card box. Don't say, look, I have a blue card box here. Please notice the blue nature of these cards. Because what you're doing then is, if you come to the conclusion of the effect, all the cards are red, except for their one blue card, it doesn't really hit as well. So that's why you could even carry this separately and then pull the cards out from the cellophane. You know, if you're carrying the whole deck, just pull the 8 cards you need out from the cellophane and do it that way. Of course, you can also do this with more than 8 cards, but 8 cards seems to be about the right amount. So experiment with that, see if you want to have a larger stack or a smaller stack, but 8 is really kind of the sweet spot. Really have a name for this. I don't know what it's called. I learned it so long ago. I was maybe 13 or 14 years old whenever I came across this. If somebody knows the name of this effect when watching and knows who it's credited to, please leave that in the comments down below. I'll make sure to update my description and post a pin with your comment. The hand is faster than the eye. It's something that it's attributed to magicians all the time, but is it really true? Is it really true? Is the hand faster than the eye? I'm going to show you that it is. So just need 2 cards here. What do we got? Oh, perfect. A 5 and a 6. Red 5 and a red 6. Okay, I'm going to take one of them, place it in the middle of the deck. Take the second one, place that somewhere else in the deck. And watch this. In that second, I was able to go through all of the cards of the entire deck and pull out 2 cards. The red 5 and the red 6. Okay, so to do this effect, it's pretty darn simple. There's just one thing you need to bear in mind, and that's that you need 2 red 5s, 2 red 6s, and don't make them both the same suit. If you use the 5 of diamonds and the 6 of diamonds, and then at the end the 5 of hearts and the 6 of hearts come out, there's no effect. So what you want to do is you want to switch those. You want a 5 of diamonds and a 6 of hearts, and a 5 of hearts and a 6 of diamonds. And the idea really honestly is to confuse the audience about which 2 went in there. People aren't paying that close attention. They know there's a diamond, they know there's a heart, they know there's a 5, they know there's a 6, but they don't know necessarily which suit is associated with card. So as long as you bear that in mind, that's pretty much the trick. All you need to do is take one pair of them and put one on the bottom, one on the top. Don't flash that, okay? Make sure you're not showing that. Keep those cards in your palm like that. Don't show the top card. Because then that might give away the effect. All you got to do now is either, if you have a way to have people select these, great. If not, you can just go as simple as go, let's get a couple cards. Actually, we'll just use these 2 and then pull those out. Now you're ready to go. Go look. Red 5. Remember, not doing this to put them in because then it'll be flashing the bottom card. So you can either do a little palm thing like that, or alternatively, just keep it level to the ground. Say, look, we're going to put them in different spots of the deck. And even do a little flash, push them in. And then you go 3, 2, 1. And then I'm just doing a little toss. And my thumb is retaining the top card. And my fingers are going to retain the bottom card. And that's just through friction. They're just going to hold onto those. And so all I'm going to do is just make a tossing motion from one hand to the other, just like I was tossing the cards. And all of the cards will fly into the other hand, except for those 2 cards that were stuck to your fingers. And then you show them, there you go. there's your effect. As long as you're not drawing too close attention to, this is the 5 of hearts, and I'm going to place the 5 of hearts into the deck, and I'm going to place the 6 of diamonds into the deck, and then look, the 5 of diamonds and the 6 of hearts appear. There's no effect there because they're not the right cards. So there's a couple ways to combat this. One, don't draw attention to it. People will just remember there was a heart and a diamond and a 5 and a 6, and they won't necessarily associate them with each individual card. Or you could get duplicates. That's another way to do it. Or later, if you want, I have a more advanced version of this that's very sleight of hand heavy, but if you want to learn that, I can show you that, and you can do that with 2 freely selected cards from the audience. That's it. There's 2 self-working tricks that are really, really easy to do. There's basically no sleight of hand in any of these, and all you have to do is memorize a couple simple things, and you'll be off and on your way to amazing your audiences. If you like this video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know which was your favorite trick. I want to know if you are a bigger fan of the 8-card Brainwave or of the 5-6 trick, we'll call it. And also, if you guys are interested, please let me know, because I'm thinking about doing a coin version of this video. So thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers.